Good day and welcome from Cape Town. Today we're going to have a look at the VandyVape and Tony B Piulse 2. Now this is always something which I really wanted to have. I wanted the original Piulse, but I was too late to the party, couldn't get it here in South Africa. So I waited patiently for another Piulse to come around. And here it is. It is now the Piulse 2, VandyVape and Tony B. This is what the packaging looks like. Let's just have a quick look around here. Tony B and Piulse 2. Here all the product details. I just leave it here, so if you want to freeze frame you can do that and have a quick read through what is all in here. We're going to have a look inside anyway. And then over here the normal scratch and check and codes and the warnings at the bottom. Then it has a sleeve, and then the box actually has, at the back it has something here. Here we go. That's details of VandyVape and markings again. Then let's open the lid here and we will see inside here we have this, which is a couple of things. It is number one, your adapter if you want to use an 18650 in this battery, because this particular mod is for 21700s, 2700s and 18650s. So you can use that. That's to put an 18650 in. You get a spare bottle without fittings, just the silicone sleeve. And you get this funny tool, which I leave out because we will use it later on. And obviously you get the mod. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And then you get, let's just get insert out here. You get your QE card. You get a shortish Type-C charging cable. You get your instruction manual. And then you get a card which shows you all the colors this comes in. Here we go. You can see all the colors. As you can see, I have the black one. You get a battery safety card. Always good. Never have enough battery safety. A warranty card. And a card, a little booklet which explains you how to use this with the mobile app. Let's pop all this back in again. Put the lid back on. And then we're going to have a look at the mod itself. And here it is. Let's zoom in just a tiny little bit. Here we go. Right. That's the VandyVape Piulse 2. It goes from 5 watt to 95 watt. It draws an amperage of 34 amps. You can use it in variable wattage, bypass, and TC mode, temperature control mode, between 3.2 and 4.2 volt. Then it cuts out when it gets hotter than 80 degrees centigrade, which I'm not quite sure what it is in Fahrenheit, probably lots. And your TC works between 200 and 600 Fahrenheit or 100 and 315 degrees Celsius. And if your power knob gets stuck, and I'll get to that in a second, it switches off automatically after 10 seconds. Right, let's have a look at the thing. Let's take a look around. It has the 510 right over here, and it fits on here. Shall we have a look? Comfortable, anything up to 25 millimeters. We can put the on here. And it has a 510, which I can tell you now already will probably not be spring loaded because it is a Squnonker mod. No, it isn't. There's a slight recess, so I would assume there's a rubber ball or something underneath it to give it a bit of a give. Then on the side you have one of the panels right over here with your pre-installed dark Squnonker bottle. On this side you have VandyVape engraved. On this side you have another one of these panels, and both of them are removable. And I would assume at a later stage you can buy different panels and replace them. And here you have your menu screen, you have the fire button up and down, and your Type-C charge port. Right, let's open this up. Here we go. There you have your bottle, which is a dark bottle. I don't like dark bottles because I can't see my liquid level in dark bottles. So what is it with the dark bottles? So I want to have this dark bottle out. Now you obviously could squeeze it and just pull it down, and that's all fine and well, but if some juice is in there you might not want to do that, and this is why they gave you this funny tool here. Of course, what you do, you hook the lever up. See, there's a little lever over there, and you hook your tool in and you just pull it out. And there you go. There is your bottle out. Now I have cheated a bit. I actually want to take this lid off because this lid is a bit tighter. I'll leave it on. I can show you what it might issues. I have cheated a bit. Got myself a spare bottle, which you see over here. So we will pop the spare bottle in over here. And it has, if you look here, it has these ridges. I hope you can see them. You see that? Yeah, these ridges, these notches need to fit into notches into the receptacle. So you can take your tool again, you just turn it till it makes a little click, and there your spare bottle is in. How do you fill it? Well, you have this lid over here with a little lever which pops up, and it has a magnet on the bottom side. And you then turn it, open it up like this, and then this happens. The magnet pulls the lever back and you need to fiddle it out again and turn it up, and then this happens again, and you say a couple of words which you shouldn't say in front of the kids, and so on and so forth. And there is your bottle. Then you can fill it, and then the whole game of lever not really popping back again and popping out and popping back is starting over. Now it would have been great if they would have had a little spring in there for the lever to stay up, and then when you're finished you can push it over. So that's a bit fiddly, but not a train smash, shows it. Right. Then you obviously have the battery compartment, which is right. Ooh, look at me making a mess here. Me making a mess? No. Right, let's just take it. That's obviously when you have hugely filled bottles and you put them in, make a bit of a mess. Right. Then you can pop your battery in, and the battery indicators are black and very soft here on the side, very difficult to see if you can't see it. Yeah, you might see the plus down there. Yeah, not very well done. That should have been a bit more prominent. So back to the drawing board on that one. The battery compartment itself is snug for a 21700, but not overly snug. So compared to, let's say, the top fill light, it is less snug than the top fill light, and you are not in danger of actually ripping your battery protection over there, which is nice. So it actually fits perfectly snug. You just need to be careful when you put it in. Right, and here you are. Then we get to the menu quickly. Those who have the VandyVape Swell will find this all very familiar. You obviously have the watts. You can go into the main menu by pressing the up and down button at the same time. Then you are in the main menu. Should we go a little bit closer? Here we go. And if you go in there, you can actually switch off the functionality which you want to have. So I have, for example, now temperature control. I don't want voltage. I don't want bypass. P and ARR I have on. I want to use the app, so I will switch that on. And then I go back to escape. Here you can set your hibernate time, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever you want. I leave it at 5 minutes. Here you can adjust the brightness of your screen. Here you can reset your puff counter. You can see I've used that quite a bit already, put it through its paces, tested it. Yeah, let's reset it. Here we go. Then it has done that. Then here you can change the color of your graphical interface. So if you want different colors, you can do that. I like the one which I have. Here it is the chip. Looking at the swell, my swell is a 2.0. This now is the 3.0. Then app, that is when you want to get your app connected with your device. Here you can reset to factory settings, which we don't want to do. And then you go back. And that's it. That's basically it. 1, 2, 3 gives you now the opportunity to go into temperature control, titanium, nickel, stainless steel. You can set wattage, you can set temperature. So here's the temperature. To be quite honest with you, I'm not quite sure how you set the wattage. I'm sure there's a trick there, which I would have to read up in the manual. But since I do not use temperature control, I'm afraid I cannot help you there. Right, 1, 2, 3. Let's go back to watts. Here we are. Let's put it back to 40. And that's the screen. Very, very easy to use. Not an issue whatsoever. It is a, the traditional VandyVape swell screen, just a little bit updated. Version 3 compared to the version 2 I have, or version 1 you might have. And obviously what you can do then is put a dripper on here, which I will do right now. It is the Wotofu Elder Dragon, which is, let's get a bit closer here so we can see how it's squonking. Well, it's a squonker, it's box. There you see the juice coming through. Not going to do too much because this little dripper is over-swanked very quickly, so you don't need to be overly. Well, seems to be working just fine. Right, what do I think of it? Well, I love it. I love the form factor. I love that it is, you can fill it without having to take the bottle out and make a mess. Love that. I love the battery, that the battery fits in. I love that you can exchange the panels. A couple of things which I don't love, the bottom lid here is a bit fiddly. I think they should have put a bayonet slot in there. That would have been a lot easier than having to screw it in, several revolutions. So if you put a bayonet in, you just put it in quarter turn. There you go, you're closed. Missed the trick there. Maybe they do it on the version 2.1. Bottle is nice and accessible. And there's one thing which pops up in the community, and you might have heard about it, that on some of them, the button sticks, which obviously is not what you want. Not quite sure how good VandyVape is about replacing it. I heard both sides. I heard VandyVape was very good. I also heard VandyVape was not very good. Well, yeah, so it's a bit, I think we are now at the point where we are at the second batch where they have fixed the problem. They certainly are aware of the problem. Tony B is aware of the problem. And it has been fixed in later batches. I just don't know which batches are affected with a sticky fire button. But I'm sure we will find out. It can't be humidity going in because and that is also one of the pros on this, the chip is in a watertight compartment, so it is not, so if you spoil a little bit of liquid, especially on a dripper, I think it makes absolute sense. Then you don't need to be afraid that it goes into your chip and you fry your chip. So that's very good. So here we are, VandyVape Pulse 2. Very happy I bought it. I think for what it can deliver with a 21700 battery, with a 7 ml bottle and so on and so forth, it is nice and small. It is certainly not too big. It fits in the hand very nicely, and I used it now, as you could see on the puff counter, for quite a bit, and I was very happy with it. I had no sticky fire button. you probably are now on the safe side. So that's it. VandyVape Piulse 2, designed by Tony B. Lovely dripper, a lovely Squnonker. I love it, I really do. And I think you would too. The board is unbelievably good and reliable, and the form factor is just very appealing. Well, thanks very much for popping in. Greetings from Cape Town, and goodbye.